So you're a real estate investor and you're not getting the numbers that you thought you'd be getting. What gives? Welcome back. My name is AlexBeltran. I talk about everything real estate. If you find this content valuable, then go on ahead and hit that subscribe button. If not, well, your loss. Sorry. Now, very quick story. Lately, I've been going to the local RIAs and talking to other local real estate investors. And I came across a gentleman that holds a 15-unit complex. And he's had it for, I believe he said 7 or 8 years. And he thought he'd be making a hell of a lot more money by now, and he doesn't understand why it's not happening. And it took me a moment, and I was like, are you like keeping up the property? He's like, well, yeah, I'm making normal repairs. And I was like, no. Like, are you making sure that your, A-class or B-class property stays A-class or B-class? And he's like, no, I'm not making those types of repairs. I'm just doing like, minor plumbing and updating of toilets and things like that. Or whenever something breaks, I repair that. And I was like, yeah, you also got to start investing in keeping your property, whether it's an A or a B class. In this case, let's just say it's a B class property, so that it stays a B class property. And to do that, you need to know the difference between a property manager and an asset manager. Very different. You see, the property manager has been successfully repairing his properties, whatever the case may be, and making sure that tenants are happy by, extending the lease, but only increasing the price by 1% to 3%, whatever the case may be, right? But you're also going to need an asset manager, and the gentleman didn't know what I was talking about. In fact, he didn't even know the difference. And it kind of, I was a little dumbfounded by that, because to me, it's kind of second nature, right? I mean, I've worked within the world of real estate for so long, but a lot of people don't know the difference between the two. And think of it this way, right? Your property manager is, sort of the short-term thought process. Takes care of the tenants, takes care of rent, takes care of repairs, make sure that everybody's happy, make sure that you're getting paid, right? And an asset manager is someone who looks at the long term of your asset. They make sure that certain repairs are made, certain upgrades are made in order to make sure that your property class stays at that property class so that you can keep getting top rent rates, right? Because if your property slips from like a B class to a C class, you can't get B class rental prices when you have a C class rental property. The way I always like to tell people is that like the property manager is your bookkeeper who handles like the daily transactions, and the asset manager is the CPA who actually strategizes your long-term goals, right? And if you still don't get it, here's a little bit of an example. The property manager, like I said, keeps rents going, keeps everything flowing correctly. However, an asset manager, instead of renewing a lease, might tell the property manager, hey, let that lease expire. We're gonna have to redo that entire unit so that we can keep up with all of the other units in the area, right? So instead of increasing by 2 to 3%, how about we repair this and we can rent it for 10% more in the long run? It's little things like that that allow you to make a hell of a lot more money in the long run. And like I said, by doing so, it keeps your property standards up to par with all of the other properties in the area. If you want even a better real world example, think of it like leasing a car, right? A dealership is going to allow you to lease a car for 3 years, and they're going to have mileage restrictions, right? Because they know that if they get that car back within those 3 years with those mileage restrictions, they're going to be able to resell that car for top dollar. It's the same for real estate. You want your asset to stay as high as quality as humanly possible so that you can keep charging those top rates. You can either do this yourself, especially if you have a smaller portfolio, or you can hire someone to do it for you, or if you have a much larger portfolio and don't have the time to do it yourself. Now I know what you're thinking. How much does it cost to hire an asset manager? Well, funny you ask, because if you think hiring a professional is expensive, just wait until you hire an amateur. Don't cut corners with your real estate team, which is really just a long-winded way of saying it's very expensive. However, if you have a good asset manager and you're doing the work correctly, whatever you are paying your asset manager is peanuts in comparison to how much money he's making you in the long run. So food for thought. Alrighty, that is it for today. Asset manager, property manager. I hope you understood the difference. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.